Guys, do you want to have a little seat? Well, weren't they amazing? You sit down, sweetheart. Are you looking for mummy? She's not looking for mummy. Have a little seat. That's it, good. Well, we've got a huge amount of people to thank, as usual, and we'll try and do it very quickly. And we'll do it in batches, so you don't have to clap after every single person. So I'll give you a little cue to tell you when to clap. We're going to start off by, the first batch of people is Hallkeeper Taz, lighting is Gordon and Rachel, sound is Terry, photographs is Isla, DVDs Gary and Leslie at New Pixel, the program is Karen Tumblety, and we need to also thank Aoife Fisher for designing the fantastic front cover of our program. Big round of applause to them, please. So next, the people that we really couldn't do the show without, and that's mainly all the mums and a few dads. But the first two ladies that I'm going to call onto the stage, we really honestly couldn't do without them, and that's Amanda and Annette. These ladies are up at the crack of dawn. I'm emailing them at midnight sometimes, so. Annette does all the costumes, and as you can see, the costumes are pretty amazing. Yeah, so thank you so much, ladies. We also have 4 other main key players in the ladies. I think most of them are in the audience, so I won't embarrass you and make you stand up. But if we can give them a big round of applause to Gail, Jan, Laura, and Pam, please. Your children have little gifts for you, so they will give them to you afterwards. And then every single mum and granny and grandpa, everybody, dads, that helps get this show on the road, because you bring them to the rehearsals, and I know it's quite chaotic backstage. I appreciate that. And but I think it's kind of worth it, because the kids get such a lot out of it. But to every single mum and every single person that has helped, a huge big round of applause, please, to all your mums. And very importantly is the EDA staff. We have an amazing team that, they are literally my family. So I'm going to call them all onto the stage to be embarrassed. Miss Ingalls, Miss Walker, Miss West, and Susie, please. Them must be rubbish. Their flowers will be in the wings. So thank you so much, girls. They really are a fantastic team, and they're just lovely, aren't they? You all love your teachers, don't you? Yeah. Okay, and so now we also have assistants at the school, which are mainly older girls that come along and help out, and I'd like them to stand up and take a curtsy. I have a little gift for you backstage, which please come and get that at the end. But if Mara, Amy, Lauren, Hannah, Jess, and Neve could stand up and take a curtsy, please. And they're all very lovely girls, and possibly might be future teachers at the school. We've got 2 girls that are now on the teacher training program and have been doing some teaching with us, and they've actually choreographed one of the dances tonight and rehearsed it, and it's looking fantastic. They've done a great job with the kids. So Holly and Kirsty, please stand up and take a curtsy. They don't look like that when they're teaching. And a quick thank you to my family, please, because I know that at this time of year, 2 months at least prior to the show, they don't see very much of me. And there's no food in the fridge, and my poor husband has to just get by with this woman that runs in and out the house like a frenzy. And we also have a new granddaughter, so I've not seen much of her, so I'm going to see a lot of her tomorrow. But I would like to thank you, please, all my family. They don't need a round of applause, but I'd just like to thank them. So now we're going to go on to the most important part of the evening, which is the awards. All right, now I know you're all waiting for this. This has been a particularly difficult year to choose because we've got a fantastic bunch of kids. I mean, I think you've probably seen tonight, the talent is phenomenal, actually. And they're just amazing. And I'm standing in the wings, and one of the homeless number, I was absolutely in tears in the wings because it's so moving. They're just amazing, and they give it 110%. So it's incredibly hard to choose people individually. Nevertheless, here we are. We're coming to the singing prize first, and last year this was a boy called Marcus who won, and Marcus is now taking his singing quite seriously, and he's actually performing at the Usher Hall tonight, so he can't be here to give the prize to the next winner. So I've asked Nicole, I think Nicole's going to step in to do that, to give the prize this year to Hannah McDonald. Hannah. A nice little career ahead of her there, I think. Good, and now we're on to drama. This was extremely hard to choose as well, because there's so many of them are really developing their skills. Dancers nowadays can't just dance, they actually have to be extremely good at acting, and that's why we're trying to develop that side in the school. And I think tonight, proved that we've got some amazing actors in the school. So, Sam was our winner last year, so Sam, if you would please give the award to Rachel Doherty. Rachel was the girl that came on at the very beginning of the Homeless Dance. She does the solo at the beginning of it, and quite remarkable, very moving performance from her and the rest of that cast. So now we are on to something similar. It's the Performance Awards. This is somebody that performs all the time and again manages to move you through the performance. It might not necessarily just be facial expression, but the body expression. And this particular child has a real talent for this, again, has moved myself and the teachers to tears on a few occasions, and it's the passion, that's what she has that's very special, and when you have that, it's miles above everything else, and that's what differentiates dance to something like gymnastics or other sport forms. It's an artistic art form, and the link to the music is hugely important, and the ability to portray emotion to the audience. So last year's winner was Lydia, and Lydia is now training full-time, and she's here to present the award. And Lydia, if you would please give the award to Tamara. I think you will have enjoyed Tamara did a solo in the red dress and a duet at the end of Act 2, so I'm sure you would have enjoyed those performances. Now we're on to the joy of dance, very important thing. A lot of joy of dance tonight out here, but this is perhaps for somebody that is very committed to it and very happy all the time to be dancing, not just when they're on stage in front of hundreds of people, but when they're in the studio and I say, right, we've got lots of things to get through tonight, and I'm going to see things in 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. And when I do that, if you can go to the side and practice, and to be really honest, most of the kids will go and practice for about the first 5 minutes, and then they start looking at their fingernails, and I have to remind them to keep practicing. But this child I never have to remind because she has such a joy of what she does that she just does it all the time. So, last year's winner was Anna McDonald. If you'd like to give the award, please, to Ellie. On to musicality. So this is a really, really important part of the training for dance, especially classical ballet, really, the link to the music. And I have worked with dancers all over the world. I work with professional dancers every week. I teach classical ballet to professionals every week, and I don't see that very, very special quality very often. And this particular person that's going to win it this time is actually the most musical student and professional, including the professional dancers that I've ever worked with. So last year's winner was Finley, and Finley's now in full-time ballet school in England as well, but Finley has come back to watch the show and to present the award. So Finley is here. Could you please give the award, Finley, to Natalie? Natalie is quite a shy and modest young lady, extremely lovely person, and has been working for the last 3 weeks on a very injured foot, and has done an amazing job because she's a trooper and she keeps going, and she's got a very important ballet exam coming up in a couple of weeks, and she's still going to keep going because I know what kind of personality she is, so it's an absolute joy to work with. And now we are on to the Achievement Award. This was very, very hard to decide upon because there's lots of kids in the school that have worked incredibly hard over the last 2 years since the last show and achieved amazing things. This particular student, again, works away very quietly, very understated, modest, and just gets on with it, and just has achieved a huge amount in both particularly ballet and modern at a young age. Is, getting up the ranks of all the ballet exams and doing extremely well, but is very quiet about it. We've had this young lady from the age of 3, and we've had her all the way through, and she's been an absolute joy to work with all that time. Last year's winner was Ollie. Ollie, if you could please give the award to Hannah Lewis. And so now we're on to our final award. This is the award that we call the Christmas Award, because our very first show was a Christmas show, and this is for really, well, it's very hard to say who it's for, because it's somebody that, it can be anything, somebody that makes us laugh, somebody that's very hardworking, combination of all, many things. Last year's winner was Gabby, but Gabby has now gone on to university. Actually, she's a very talented dancer, but decided to go down the academic route. So she's not here, so I think Kirsty's going to present the award. And this year, the prize goes to William. William is a lovely young man and makes me laugh a lot in the studio. He's very funny, and I think the girls quite like him too. Okay, so that's all the awards done. That's the end of the show for this, or so I thought. Taking over, Sam.
On behalf of all of us, I think we all, one, owe you a massive round of applause. On behalf of all of us, we would like to this year, as a thank you to all the staff at EDA, we have decided to sponsor a medical detection puppy from Medical Detection Dogs. These puppies are trained to help people, both adults and children, with life-threatening health conditions such as diabetes, Addison's disease, severe nut allergies, and to name a few. They also train biodetection puppies. So, on behalf of all of us, we'd like Miss Mitchell, Miss Ingalls, Miss Walker, Miss West, and Susie to come on stage and accept the certificate for the dog that we have sponsored for you all. Another massive round of applause for all the teachers.
you guys. Far too generous as usual and very lovely presents. Thank you so much. We want to give one last thanks to our audience, really, because without you doing it, bringing them, coming to class and all that kind of thing, we would never have this, would we? Are you all very grateful? Yeah, because have you had a great time? Pardon? That's a bit more like it. I think you might have some tired children on your hands tonight, and I think they might sleep quite well tomorrow. They have been fantastic to work with. We've all loved it. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed seeing your children grow in confidence, and I hope you've watched how happy they are when they're dancing. And that's the whole theme of the show, is about life can be tough, but do you know what? Let's have some fun. So do you want to get up and have some fun one last time? Can we have some music? Any music for our final dance, please, up in the sound box? Anything you like. Thank you.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give